Hello everybody, this is Dawn from Put Me on Crochet, and today we are going to be making this hat right here, okay? So I want you guys to see it. This is something that I saw trending, and I loved it, loved it, loved it. I thought I would be wanted to create it as well, and I've never did a brim hat before, so that was a challenge for me. Before I did it, this worked up so fast, y'all. Okay, so it's really simple. It worked out fine, and I loved it. Did the popcorn, so I put that on there and everything. I even put a little burnt singe here, y'all. Okay, because I had to put my little twist on it. But anyway, so I'm excited. I hope you guys can follow along, so that you are able to make your beautiful popcorn beanie as well. Okay, all right. So stay tuned, and we're gonna dive right into it, guys. Okay, so let's go. All right, you guys. So these are the materials that you're gonna need. I have already went on and made some popcorn here, and we'll show you this another video. Well, I'll show you guys how to make these a little further on the video, but I went on and made some pre-made some. Okay, this is the popcorns, and I just used 3 different colors here. This is an ivory color, and then this is a lighter color, and then this is a little darker yellow. Okay. So you guys are going to need this is acrylic yarn. It is 4-way yarn. It is red and white, and you're going to need scissors, a darning needle, and you're going to need a hook. I'm using 5.5, but you can use whatever size hook. Okay. All right, guys, so let's get started.
All right, here's my chain. I actually decided to do 44, okay, a chain of 44 because my son wants to fold his brim. He wants to have a brim on it, okay? So 10 more stitches is going to allow him to fold it up as the popcorn is coming down.
So this measures, it measures like 12.5 inches, okay? And when we stretch it, like maybe 17.5 inches. I could go a little bit more, but I'm not because yarn stretches, okay? And as we're putting more double crochets and half double crochets in these stitches, it's going to stretch it anyway, okay? So at least we know the stretch is going to stretch us to like 17.5 inches. The many rolls that you decide to do will give you the circumference of the head, right? And you can just measure that as you're creating your rolls, okay? So this right here is just the length, and then your rolls is going to be the circumference of the head, okay? So as you're crocheting, make sure you're measuring so that it's not too small and that it's not too big. So now the next step you're going to do, so now we have our V's here, okay? So this is the front of your yarn. I'm going to put half double crochet down in each row, okay? Going down just to build that foundation. Now we're gonna go ahead and skip this first chain, and we're gonna go into the second chain right here, and we're gonna add 1 half double crochet in there. Okay, so that's 1, and then next stitch, another half double crochet. All right, and then you're gonna continue the same pattern all the way down till you get down to the end. And then when I get down to the bottom of this row, I'm going to go ahead and change colors, okay? So that way I'll show you guys how I change colors as well. So go ahead and finish this up. Go ahead and just do a half double crochet in each stitch all the way down until you get to the bottom, and then I'll come back and join you guys. All right, guys, so I've finished. I just put a half double crochet in every stitch all the way down the chain, okay? And now I'm here at the very last stitch here, and I'm going to show you guys how I change the colors, okay? So at this point, you're going to go ahead and you're going to start your half double crochet in the chain, but you're not going to finish it, okay? So pull up a loop you have through on your hook. Now I'm going to pick up the white, and then I'm going to attach it to my hook, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to pull it through those 3 loops. All right, so now I'm going to just pull in a little bit, working yarn, tighten up a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and just set it down here real quickly and show you guys how I actually tie. So I'm going to tie like a little firm knot. So basically what I do is, this is the tail from when you started, so don't worry about that one. So you want to take the tail of the new color, okay, and then you want to leave the color that you want in the center. This is just what helps me to know which ones to tie, okay? The color that I'm going to, my new color, I'll leave in the middle. The tail of the new color I have on one side, and the working yarn that I worked with previously is on the other side. I take those 2 together, and I tie a nice little firm knot in it. Okay, so this helps to secure. Some people don't tie this at all, which you don't have to do this, but I like to do it because to me it gives it a little bit more firm, to stay attached and not unravel as you're working on your project, okay? All right, so I'm going to put another little knot in here, nice and firm, okay? Now, I typically would cut my yarn, the previous yarn, but in this case I'm not, because I'm going to pick this color up again because I'm doing the stripe pattern. So this color will always be hanging here on the end as I crochet with the white. I have the white here, and now it's attached, okay? So now I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to let the red just hang, okay? But I am going to weave in the ends here as I go, okay? So these 2 tails here, the red tail and the white tail, I'm going to go ahead and just hold those up here. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start row 2 with the white, and we're going to be working in the back loops from here on out, okay, for the entire row, the rest of the hat. So we're going to go ahead and yarn over, and then we're going to go into the back loop of this first red chain here. So you see how they have the V's? Okay, so this is the front of the V, and this is the back of the V, front, back, right? So we're going to go into the back. So we're going to yarn over, and we're going to put a half double crochet in that particular stitch, okay, pull it up, yarn over, and we're going to the back loops, okay? So next one, the back loop. Now, when you're first doing this, your first few rows is going to be a little bit fragile, okay? So you just got to work with it. Make sure you're holding your yarn in place while you're doing these crochets, okay? Just half double crochet. So you're going to do this, and then after a while, you can just just drop the tail. Like you don't have to keep crocheting it in once it gets kind of small. We're going to go into your next back loop and then to the, okay. So we're going to continue this pattern here on the white, half double crochet it all the way down the back loops, and then I'll meet you guys back at the bottom of this row. Okay, so we are approaching the end. We have 2 more left, and we're coming approaching the end. Go ahead and put your last. Well, I'm gonna look at it and see if it looks. It doesn't look straight. I think I go into one more. Yeah, I think we'll do one more into this last one right here. Quick voiceover. Okay, so we are here at the end. We're gonna go ahead and chain 1, turn our work, and when you turn your work, you're gonna go ahead and do another row, your second row of white, and the back loops, and it's gonna be a half double crochet. Okay, so you're gonna continue this process all the way down into each stitch in the back loops, and then once we get to the bottom, I'll come back and join you guys. Okay, as you continue, this is what it should look like. Okay, so that's 2 rows of the white, and we're going to continue on. Okay, so I'll meet you back at the bottom. Now we're at the bottom here, and I just wanted to go in and do these last 2. So now we're going to go ahead and change the color. Now remember, I left the red hanging because now we're just going to just drop the white, and then we're going to go ahead and pull the red up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab it, and we're going to pull it through those 3 loops on our hook. And we do not even have to tie it anymore because it's already attached. But I am going to drop the white, and we're going to just pick up the red, and we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to turn our work. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and continue that same pattern in the back loops. And yeah, so just yarn over. You're going to go right here, pull up a loop, and then you're going to do your half double crochet all the way down this row, back loops only. I think you guys got the gist of what we're doing here. Continue this pattern and go however many rows you want to go for the length of your hat. And yeah, and then I will meet you guys back once I'm done with my rows, and then we'll go from there. Hey guys, I am back, and we are done with our panel. Okay, so this is the I actually did. Okay, so I measured my son's head just to make sure. I kind of wrapped around it at one point to see exactly how much more I needed. And so basically this is what I came up with. This is actually 48 rows. So I wanted to make sure I ended with 1 row of the red on both sides. So I started with the row 1 of the red, and I ended with 1 row on this side, so that when I, crochet them together, it'll be in sync with the rest of the hat. Okay, so this will be 2. Okay, so basically that's what I did. So I finished the rows, and then I went on and tied it off right here, and I gave myself a very long string to so that we can weave it, crochet it up to close the hat together. Okay, so that's what I did here. So we have, so this right here is the edge. You see how the edges look here where we carry the yarn. So basically this is the top of the hat. Okay, so when you're done, you're going to go ahead and just turn it like this. Now I want to determine what side is the inside and what side is the outside. What we need to do is we're going to turn it over. So we're going to turn it with the inside, outside on the inside, right? So this is the inside, and then this is the outside. So I'm going to turn it where the inside is in first, okay, so that we can have our stitch to run along the side of it on the inside of the hat. Okay, so this is what you do first. So basically you're going to go ahead, and then you're going to turn it inside out. Make sure that your inside is on the outside. Okay, I hope y'all didn't confuse y'all with that. All right, so then I have my long string here. So now you can use a darning needle to do this, or you can use your hook to do it. Okay, and I think I'm going to use my darning needle to do it, to go ahead. So basically this is what you have here. So you have your string here. So this should be enough to go all the way down the seam without having me to add more yarn on it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my darning needle, crochet it down the side. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put the yarn into my needle here. Just give it a little tail there. Okay, so now here you are. So basically you're going to take your seam, okay, and I'm going to keep it together here. So here's your end. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put it in the first chain under both loops there. Okay, and then we're going to go on this side and put it into the loops on this side as well, so on the same side. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull the yarn through, and then I'm going to make a little knot. So I'm going to put the hook through there, and I'm going to pull it so that it can be secured in there. Okay, so there's my knot for security. So now it's connected. Okay, see the connection. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to go into every single stitch. The next one is here, and then we're just going to go ahead and pull through. Okay, so you're going to pull through. Now the string is kind of long, so you got to just kind of maneuver it a little bit here and there. Okay, and then I'm going to come over on the other side, on the same side, and just go to your next stitch and do the same thing. Let's go ahead and pull. So you're going to do this all the way down. Okay, and then the next stitch. So you just want to make sure that you're going in every single stitch and make sure that it matches. Okay, so that it can be even. Next stitch, I'm gonna go ahead and just pull it through. All right, so go ahead and continue that. Now you can use whatever stitch you want. You can use your darning needle, you can use a whip stitch, you can do mattress stitch, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure that you are going into the proper stitches. So continue doing this, and then I'll meet you guys when we get to the bottom of this row. All right, guys, so we are here at the end. Okay, so we're at the bottom here. Okay, so we did our little seam here, and now I'm going to go ahead and add these to the last few stitches here. I think we have 2 left. And so we're just pulling it through. Then I'm going to go here in the corner. I'm going to go in this corner. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull through. Now I'm going to knot this before it goes all the way through. Like, where is it? Okay, there we go. I want to make sure I put the yarn through before I close it. Okay, let me see. Okay, so it's right here. So I need to put this through here, pull that up, and pull it tight. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just do it one more time just to make sure it's nice and secure. It's not going to come loose. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and just put your needle through there and pull it tight. Okay, there we go. All right, so there you go. So this is what it looks like closed. Remember, this is the inside of it. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that this little seam here is showing is going to be on the inside of the hat, not the outside. Okay, so that's why we turn it inside out. And so this is basically what it looks like on the outside, and you can barely see where we sewed it up. See, it's very similar to what the other stitches look like. Okay, so these are the ones in the middle. Or this is what I just seamed right here. Okay, and the same size and everything, which is great. Okay, all right, so there you go there. So now we've put it together. Now you're going to turn your hat inside out. I mean, on the right side out. Okay, and there we go. Turn on the right side. Okay, and that's what it looks like. Very cute. Very cute, y'all. I see that. So nice. All right, so we do have some yarn here, so we're going to go ahead and use this yarn. It might be enough. I'm not sure. I may have to add more, and if I do, I will. Not an issue. All right, so basically now this is the top of the hat. Okay, so this is the top of the hat, and this is where we see our stitches where we carried our yarn. Okay, but this is where we're going to go ahead and start to put in at the top. You're going to start weaving in your yarn here, because this is where we're going to pull to close it up like this. Okay, so that's kind of how it's going to look once we're done with it, pretty much. Okay, right. Sorry for my lighting, you guys. It's in a certain area. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do as much as I could with this one. So basically, where you're starting from is where you ended here. So we ended right here. So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of weave it in and out, kind of in and out like so, right on the tip, as much on the tip as you can. So you're just weaving in and out like so. Nothing major. Does not have to be perfect. Just enough to where the yarn is going to come through it, and you see how it's cinching up. That's kind of what you want. So you're just going in and out. I'm going to go ahead and pull it through. Okay, and I'm going to continue. And then we're just going to pick it where we left off. Keep cinching it through, like so. Okay, so you're just going to do this all the way around. Like I said, if you need to put more yarn, you can add more yarn. But for right now, this seems to be working out okay. Keep it going. And it may be all right too, because I'm going to pull it anyway. So it's going to draw it up together. Okay, so keep doing this all the way around. I'll pull the yarn through. I think I will have enough, y'all. It's good. So that's what's good about doing it that particular way. It seems to work for me. And when doing these type of hats, it helps to already have the yarn ready and it's already there. And all you need to do is just continue using the same yarn that you use to seal the hat. You can use the same piece to cinch your top of your hat. I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to weave this in. But what I'm going to do is this little piece here, I'm going to pull it through and put it on the inside. And then I'm going to weave it on the inside. So it doesn't look bulky here on the outside. Okay, so I'll do that after I'm done with this. So it looks like we're getting all the way, we're already back around to where we started. This is where we started right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and then just keep cinching it a little bit there. I'm gonna pull it through, and then that's it. I think, yeah, that's it. See, because right here is where we're starting. I was going on the other side, okay? So now, we've done that. So now we're gonna keep our needle on there, okay? And so all you do at this point, I'm gonna show you guys. So once you do that, okay, then you just go ahead and just pull that string, and it's gonna pull that together, see? So it's pulling that together. And there you go. So keep pulling it until this circle closes, okay? So keep pulling. I'm gonna take it off for now. I'll re-thread it. Okay, so just keep pulling it like this. Try not to pull it too hard because you don't want to rip your. Okay, so don't worry about how this looks because the popcorn is gonna go on top of there anyway, right? So there you go. So this is what it looks like. So there's your beanie. Okay, and keep on. Where's the string? There it is. So actually, let me do this really quickly. Let me pull this string inside real quick. Okay, so here's the string right here. Let me just pull it through. So it can already be on the inside. There we go. All right. I'll re-pull it again for now. Okay, so just pulling, pulling, pulling. Now once it's tight and you see that the hole is closed, right? If it opens, it's okay. Just keep on, because now we're gonna seal it, okay, with this yarn. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the yarn back on my darning needle. And now we're going to come across. Man, this was a good amount of yarn that I pulled out. That's awesome. It makes it so much easier. So you're not keep adding more yarn because you didn't have enough. Okay, come on through there. All right, there we go. All right, so I pulled it. So now what you want to do is just take your yarn. Hold on a second. Where we go? So now you're going to take your needle and you're going to just go right in the top, right over the top. Just go right across the top of this hole here. Okay, and just put your yarn through, and just pull it. Okay, so now this is actually closing up the hole here. So you just want to go back and forth across this hole. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. Just put it on in there. Okay, stick it through the top, and you're just going to keep going back and forth. Okay, and I'm just taking it on different sides, different angles, just to make sure I'm going across there. Okay, then we'll take it back this way. We'll go across here. Gets a little tough in there, but it's okay. Just keep going, keep pushing it through. This part is when you just want to make sure that you're sealing it enough to where it's not going to come loose. Okay, so just keep going back and forth. Just kind of look at it, kind of pull it apart to kind of see. Okay, it looks pretty even. Okay, looks good. All right, since you're done with this, now we're going to go ahead and take the needle. We're going to put it right in the center of here. So we're going to put that down so that we can put that string in the inside. Okay, so I'll put it through, and then if you look here, you'll see the needle here. So there's the needle. So we're going to just take that and pull that through. Okay, and then we can cinch here on the bottom underneath as well. Okay, so just stick your needle through there as well on the bottom. You just want to make sure this is really secure because when you go to put the hat on, you want to make sure that this hat's not going to come loose, y'all. Y'all popcorn really going to be flying all over the place, okay? All right, so that's pretty much what we're doing here. I'm just making sure it goes in here, okay? And then after you pass it through a little bit, you can go ahead and tie it off. And we're going to go ahead and put a little knot really quickly. Go ahead and cut this off, okay, like so. And then, you know, and this depends, like, I mean, this is for my son, so I don't really need to worry about all these ends. It's on the inside. Doesn't really matter. No one's going to see it. But just to kind of be more conscious of it, I want to just go ahead and weave it in like I said I would. So basically, you're just going to just feed it through. Nothing special. Nothing fancy. Just go ahead and put it through. Weave it in. And then that's it, really. Just cut it. Okay. Cut this little piece too. Okay. All right. So there you go. So that's the inside. All right, y'all, look at that. Okay, so we do have this little one here too. I'm gonna actually pull this one through. No, you know, at this point, I'm just gonna cut it. You know, because it's so in there, you don't need to worry about it coming loose because it's not gonna come loose. All right, so there you go. So there's the beanie. This is what it looks like. Okay. Look at that. It's so cute. All right, and then you wear it up like this. You fold it up. Y'all, I have to make me more of these because this worked up really, really, really cute. Look at that. Look at that. So cute. Let's get some lotion going, y'all, because these hands is ashy. Okay. So we're going to start with, I'm going to show you guys how to do the popcorn, okay, because it's going to be a little bit further down in the video before it's time to even start the popcorn. So let me just show you guys how to do the popcorn, then we'll get to the hat, okay? All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to do a magic wrap it around your 3 fingers, bring it to the back, and then you're going to pull up a loop, and you're going to grab that back yarn you pulled through and pull through the loop on your hook. Okay, and it came through. It just came off there. All right. So now, since I pulled it through that loop, that's considered chain 1. Okay, so now we need to chain 3 more because we need to have 4 chains here. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to take your hook, put it in the first chain here that was created. You're going to do a slip stitch right into that first chain here. Sometimes it's a little tight. And so pull it through, grab the yarn, pull it through, back through there, and then you're going to slip stitch it onto the loop on your hook. Okay, like so. Now that was that chain 4, slip stitch into the first chain, and then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to close this ring a little bit because it's a little bit too big. Okay, it's going to get bigger as you are crocheting in it. All right, so that's your chain 3. Now you're going to slip stitch into the magic ring. So the chain 3, you always slip stitch into the magic ring. So you slip stitch, pull up the loop, and you pull it through the loop on your hook. And now you just repeat that process again. Okay, so then that's the chain 4, slip stitch into the chain 1, chain 3, slip stitch into the ring. You're going to repeat that. Depending on what you want to do, the more you do this process in this magic ring, however many times you do this, will dictate how big the popcorn is going to be. So typically I've seen people do 5, some people do 4. So like I said, it just depends on how you want it to look. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and chain 4 again. So we're just repeating that process again. Okay, so chain 4, and you're going to slip stitch into the first chain, slip stitch there, and you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the magic ring. Now it's time to do the 4 again. So that's repeat. So that's 2. So right now there's 2 kind of kernels, right? There's 2, and then I think I'm gonna do 4 just to show you, and then the rest. So you can go in anywhere between 4 and 5. You can even go 6 if you choose to. It just depends on how big or small you want your kernels to be. Okay. So now let's go ahead and chain our 4 again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Slip stitch into the first chain, pull up a loop, slip stitch your hook, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, slip stitch into the magic ring. Then it's time to do the 4 again. So that was how many was that? So now that's 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we have the 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this little tail out of there. Okay, so there's your tail. So now we're going to close this magic ring right here. So basically, you're going to just take the tail, you're going to just pull, 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 pull. You'll see it come together like a little cluster, a little flower looking. Okay, and I'll show you guys. All right, so they're there, and then you tie, and this is kind of what it looks like. So when you pull the tail, it draws it all together. Okay, and it makes it look like a little popcorn. So cute. Okay, so now our working yarn, we're going to go ahead and chain 1, and then we're going to cut it off. Okay, so we want to leave a little tail. I kind of even it out to that tail that I pulled, and you want a relatively longer tail. It doesn't have to be this long, but you want to, I usually, whatever length I have on here, I just make it even, and I just leave it like that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and just tie off. So pull it through, pull it and tighten it, and then you can pull the center one a little bit more too if it'll go. And that's it. And you have your 2 strings, and there's your first popcorn. Okay, and they'll all look a little different, but when you put them all together, it's going to look really cute. So that's like your first buttered popcorn kernel. So then you just take your ends and you just tie them together. I do like 2 to 3 knots. It'll definitely stay. That's 1. Just tighten it. But be careful so that you don't rip off the yarn. So don't pull too hard, but you want to make it nice and firm. Okay. Pull it, pull it. That's 2. I'll just do 1 more for good measure. Okay. And basically that's it. So you leave these because you're going to need your crochet tails to weave them into the hat. Okay. So there you go. So that's how you make the popcorn. So now we're going to work on putting the popcorn on, you guys. Okay. So I'm going to have to make more popcorn too. So there's your popcorn coming on through. Okay. So we're going to start with one on the top first, but I just wanted to show you guys. So this is pretty much what the hat's going to look like. Okay. All right. So let's take a popcorn. Let's do a bright one. Okay. And my darning needle. Okay. So basically what I want to do is I'm going to start at the very top. So I'm going to start like right here in the middle. Okay. In the middle. So I'm going to do is I'm going to take one piece, one yarn. And some people just do 2 of them, just put them both of them in tight, but I kind of want to do one at a time so that I can have more leverage when I tie it underneath. Okay, so there is one piece. And so basically we're going to take the hat. I'm going to go right in the center, as much as you can in the center, so this popcorn can be considered right here on top of the hat. Right here in the middle. So take it and push it in. And then you're going to go ahead and pull it through, like so. Make sure you're holding underneath. And you're just going to pull the popcorn just like that. Okay, so now we have 1 in here already, so we're going to go ahead and take this off. And then we're going to go ahead and grab the other string. And we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to put it in a different spot. Okay, so we're going to put it in a different spot to go underneath. And then basically all you need to do is just tie knots in these strings when you get them underneath. Okay, so now I'm going to go here. And I'll just go a little bit closer to it. It's not going to be in the same spot, but just to be close so that the 2 strings are together so that you can tie them together. So there we go. So now I'm going to pull it through like that. Okay, so there we go. So there's one kernel on the hat. So then we go on the inside here. Now, so now see you have the 2 strings in here now, right? Okay, so now all I'm going to do is just make sure I pull it tight. And we're just going to tie some knots. That's it. Just tie some firm knots in it. And I'll do like maybe 4. Now you can weave these in if you choose to. I'm not going to do that. I think they'll be good just with my knots here. And then I'm going to go ahead and just cut them off. Okay, so now I'm not going to cut it all the way to the knot. I'm going to leave like a little tail to it so that it won't just unravel on its own. Okay, so it should be nice and secure like that. But like I said, if you want to make it more secure, you can just weave them in with your darning needle if you choose to inside. But I don't want to because I don't really want it to show. Okay, so there's your first one. So this is the seam that I joined the hat. So this is going to be the back of the hat. Okay, so I'm going to consider this the back of the hat. So this is the front of the hat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the popcorn and then I'm going to kind of like spill it over, like swirl it over a little bit so that it looks like, it's popcorn overflowing from the top. Basically, you're just going to continue to do this. Continue to put your popcorn sporadically over. You can design it how you choose to. It's up to you. So I'm going to continue with this, and I will be back to show you guys what I come up with. And I may need to do a few more because I only did like 10 or 11 of them. I know I want to do more than that. So I will come back and just show you at least once I'm done with putting them all on the hat. Okay. All right. So I'll see you guys back. I don't know about you guys, but look how this hat turned out, y'all. It is a perfect hat. Like, I've never felt a hat to feel this good on my head, guys. This is I've never even made a brimmed hat before. So this is the very first time I made a brimmed hat. And it was so easy to work up. So this is the final result, guys. I am obsessed with this hat, okay? I think it's cute. It's a nice little trend. I love it. The moment I saw it, I was like, I have to make one. So I made it. This is your popcorns you see here, guys, okay? I even have a little burnt one right there a little bit just to put my own little twist on it. But anyway, guys, I am in love with this hat. I hope you like it. You guys can make this. It's very, very simple, okay? So hopefully you guys will be able to follow my tutorial that I made that goes along with this. And yeah, let me know if you make it. Please put it in the comments. Let me know. Send me a picture of it. Let me know if you've ever made one before, okay? Yeah, so I'm excited, but this is the final result. This is how it turned out. Everything is beautiful. And yes, yeah, so please make sure you're sharing out this video. Make sure you are following. Make sure you comment. Okay, make sure you're liking the video as well. I appreciate that. Okay, so hopefully this tutorial was good for you guys. It's very simple. I wanted to put something together really quickly for you guys. Till the next video, till the next hat, y'all. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.